Hey everyone, what's up for story lovers? Welcome you to another brand new and beautiful, wonderful day. And Mayor Series is welcoming you to the first ever video released on our channel. And we'll welcome you, and I hope you guys will love and enjoy this video. So thank you guys for viewing us and staying tuned. So thank you. I also want to thank all you guys for making sure that you don't leave us behind, and you make sure that you guys just stay tuned and watch our videos. Yeah, we're very grateful, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We are going to make sure that every story we're releasing is going to be top notch. And prior to our last video, we told you guys we'll start releasing our videos every Wednesday, and which we did. This is our first video, so welcome guys, and we hope you guys have a nice time and join us on this journey of storytelling. Yeah, so before we quickly dive into the details of our story and then moving to like some series of our story, we're going to first give you a trailer of our first ever series released by Mayor Series. Though this story has been released actually on our Facebook page, because I told you guys earlier that on our Facebook page we've been releasing stories, but we just want to make sure that it's well known on our YouTube channel. So although we'll be coming down with ways, it has been a long time, we'll come down with ways of just to make sure that we can get the story across, and this is, I think, storytelling will be the best way to get our stories across to you guys. So yeah, so if you guys want to check on the real script of our story that we'll be releasing today, so you can go I'll leave the link below on our description box. So we'll leave the link below there. You can tap on the link and it will take you there to our Facebook page where you find the full story. But though it does not have pictures as we would like to explain here, but yeah, you'll get the full story in details with every dialogue. Yeah, so this is our story. The name title of our story today is Hope of Faith. Yeah, the title of our first series is Hope of Faith, and it was written by two of our members, our starting members. Yeah, so their name, the two of them, they came together to put out this story. Their names are FERANMI and DOTUN. So yeah, they put out this story. It's a story about don't let me tell you. Let me just put on the trailer so that you guys can get everything, can get every detail of the story. And I hope you guys, your emotion will be hyped to know more about the story as we head on to the story. So stay tuned and just get on the trailer. See you guys soon. Bye.
In a world teetering on the edge of darkness, where danger lurks in every shadow, one small bunny will embark on a remarkable quest that will change everything. Welcome to Bunnyville Colony, a place where unity and harmony once reigned. But when a menacing threat emerges, one bunny named Kelvin will rise above all odds. Kelvin, a spirited and determined bunny, will journey into the unknown, facing trials that will test his courage and resilience. Along the way, he will forge unlikely alliances with extraordinary companions, each possessing unique skills and gifts. Webb, the clever spider, will spin intricate webs of strategy and wit. Dig, the resourceful mole, will tunnel through the earth to unveil hidden secrets. Echo, the bat with extraordinary echolocation, will guide Kelvin through the darkest of nights. As Kelvin hones his skills, he will learn the true meaning of courage and friendship, discovering his own inner strength. But a sinister threat looms over the colony as the notorious Python Slither seeks to spread fear and destruction. In a battle of light against darkness, Kelvin and his newfound allies will stand united, ready to face their greatest challenge. Brace yourself for an epic adventure, filled with heart-stopping moments, unexpected twists, and the triumph of the underdog in this new Mayor series, Hope of Faith.
Oh, okay guys, so how was the trailer? Hope you guys are feeling every emotion and vibe, and you guys will be looking forward to know more about the story. I guess that's a yes. I believe so. It's a yes. So let's just get right into the story already. So before moving on into the story, I just want to give you guys a quick recap on each of the characters and what their motive and perspective is. I'll make it as quick as possible so that I can move into our first episode and let's get going. So first we're going to look at our first character of the story, which is the protagonist and the hero of the story, Kelvin. So Kelvin is a, let's just say, every emotion brought together. Kelvin is smart, he was joyful and jolly. Although getting on into the story, he became kind of aggressive. And later in the story, he became kind of aggressive, which was kind of something that built him up to become who he is. Because for me, when I was reading the story at first, I personally, when I was reading the story, I saw Kelvin as someone who is just, he's just like he's just there, he's just lame. It was because in the midst of chaos, Bonnyville was going through chaos at first in the story. So, but Kelvin didn't portray any sign. Him was just going out, taking things and stuff like that. So Kelvin, although I believed Kelvin was like an embodiment of portraying like who is like a person that wants to just chase his own dream and stuff like that. But later found out that he had a change of heart and he started becoming who he is. I won't say he's an anti-hero, and I'll not say he's a protagonist. It's just like something in between, because he got to know more about life after he left the view, and with his friends beside him, he became not just a makeshifter, not just someone who just makes things out of anything. He also became a warrior. He became more aggressive. He became more. He learned more skills of becoming a warrior, and he like leaving the view changed his personality forever. Living among his people in the woods changed his personality. Then our second character in the story is Fred and Charlie. Fred and Charlie, the leaders. The two of them are let's just say the two brothers who are running the ville together. So Fred and Charlie have something in common. They are kind of aggressive set of people. They believe that everyone just have to do this. Everything must be done for survival. They have to put everything in to become survival. Because Slither, who is going to be our next character we're going to face on, Slither was like the most deadliest thing that will ever happen. I'm not going to explain all the characters now, because as we go further, there are going to be new characters that are going to be introduced. So as we go further, but the main characters for now, I will explain them. So Charlie and Fred didn't consider putting thoughts in together before they even get started. They just make sure that everything just go according to plan because they want to survive. And it's true, I understand. They put everything on together just to survive, because Slither was becoming a nightmare day after day because he launches his attack and just destroys everything and so on like that. And let's move on to Slither. These are antagonists but Slither was not only our antagonist. I was not surprised, because when I was reading the story, I got to, it's not episode 8, episode 5, I got to know that there was another person even on the loose apart from Slither who was even more stronger than Slither. So, but Slither, we all know, is a very deadly python who terrorizes the colony, and his objective is just to eat. Let's just say he's a glutton. He comes to eat, and he just feels like he can oppress the colony beside him because he's at the wood. He feels that he's more superior, so he just comes, eats, and destroys everything and go away. And that's why Slither, I don't see Slither as. But there was another antagonist who would be like an Easter egg or a cliffhanger for our story. We won't tell you guys, but we'll give you guys tips and Easter eggs about our next antagonist, who is also involved in this story. So, Slither, as I explained earlier, is just a embodiment of it and stuff like that. Just a bully. Let's just term him generally as a bully. Then also we're going to look at our next character, Daisy. Daisy, she's like the, let's say, the damsel for Kelvin, the future damsel, the person that Kelvin was actually in love with at the first. Anyway, we see it and at first in beginning of the story, we saw Kelvin had kind of feelings for Daisy, and we seem to that Daisy too has feelings for Kelvin. So she was just like a damsel, and also she was also part of the war against Slipher and against our unknown antagonist, our unknown villain in the story. So we'll get right into that. So good. So I'll as I said earlier, I will explain more of each character. As we introduce more characters, we're going to explain their motives, and we're going to explain their origin and where they came from. So basically, before we go on out, let me just enlighten more on Kelvin. Kelvin, I don't really know about Kelvin's history. We don't know much about his background. Maybe because I think, according to the authors that wrote the book, FERANMI and DOTUN, they said they have a season, like it's season 2 coming up of the story. So I think that we'll get to know more about Kelvin. I think, but really they didn't really introduce where Kelvin came from. You just found that he was a bunny in the city. So but let's go on now. Let's go more into the episode 1. Okay, so yeah. So we're going on into episode 1 now. Are you guys excited? Are you guys ready? Because this is going to be interesting. So in Bonnyville, a sunny and vibrant city. It was a city, like Bonnyville is a city of rabbits, yeah, like a colony. Bonnyville colony as they called it in the story. So it was a city filled of bunnies. So the sun shone brightly on Bonnyville, where Kelvin, a jolly bunny wandering around the city, he smiled at every bunny he met and greeted them with cheerful good morning and how are you? But it seems nobody give a damn, as in, because seems like his personality at first was like a joker to everybody in the colony. While everybody was going into their daily lives as something to do, Kelvin was like just going up and down, picking things and trying to make stuff out of them. So he was like a, what should I call it, a scavenger, what should I say? I don't know. So he was like more of that shark. So he goes around picking. So in the instance of going around, as he was going around picking, we saw that in episode 1 that he bumped into his damsel. He bumped into his damsel and they shared like he had an interaction. Kelvin said, "Good morning, how are you?" And then his damsel blushed and said, "Oh, sorry, are you okay?" Then he said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And Kelvin said, "Good morning," and she said, "Good morning. I'm sorry." She said, "I'm really sorry I bumped into you. And did you get hurt?" Kelvin, who was blushing, was like, "No, no." He was saying, "No, I am fine. I'm okay." So Kelvin was like going straight to the point. Kelvin is like a no-nonsense man. He was just going straight to the point. He just said, "You look beautiful." And Daisy, so she said, "Oh, thank you. You look good too." They saw we are seeing the chemistry in the story already. So Kelvin smiled. They both smiled at each other and they left the scene. Kelvin told her bye and she said bye too. Then we saw Kelvin opted out of the outskirts of the colony. So Kelvin left the colony. And outside the colony, they were like, the colony is located in the heart of a wood, like a forest. So the colony is located. So around that colony, that's where the forest is surrounding the colony. So in those forests surrounding the colony, we can see different kind of enemies, especially Slipher. That's who is in the forest, and other wild animals who want to terrorize the colony. So for when I was reading this story, I found that when they say Kelvin hopped out of the colony to the cliffs because he went to the mountain, he went to look for, as his normal routine, going out and looking for things to pick up to make something. So he went to the cliff. I was now wondering that what this guy, like this bunny, a whole bunny, you know that there is danger outside, and you still go alone to the cliffs searching for things, like searching for scrap to make something out of. Because yeah, Kelvin is a very talented let's say makeshifter. He makes things. He's very talented in building up stuff like that from nothing. So yeah, so Kelvin, so we found out that later, after Kelvin left Daisy that stage, he hopped out of the colony. So he hopped out and he went to the edge of the cliff. So at the edge of the cliff, he was about to cross to the other side, because he found out that there's some stuff in the other side that he could use to make stuff. So then Kelvin then said, I have to jump to the other side. There must be something amazing there. So Kelvin got ready. As he was ready to jump, then as he was running, and he said, he was only explaining, saying it to himself, that adrenaline is pumping and heart is racing, feet speeding excessively. I feel alive. He said he feels alive. Anyway, so this guy is very funny. So he said he feels alive as he then jumps into the air. So as he was jumping into the air, then the scene cut in the colony, where everybody was just hoping that it would be a peaceful day, no trouble, no chaos. Suddenly, our bully came, Slater. He came. He was so notorious in the scene that he came sneaking on two bunnies, killing them and strangling them, and he swallowed them. Just wow, that was hard. Anyway, when I was reading the story, I was telling the authors that why would they put something like that? They said they should put it. Okay, so Slater. Now we're finding out that Slater is not just a bully, but he also eats them for lunch. Anyway, he's a kind of, I said it, so he's someone that just is a glutton who just comes, bully, and eats whatever he likes. So he swallowed two bunnies alive, which alarmed the whole distance. So Slater then said, let me give you guys a tip of Slater's voice. He saying, surprise, surprise. So Slater said surprise, surprise, as he came into the scene, and we saw the whole colony panicked, and Slater was terrorizing, swallowing, eating, while as Slater was laughing, others were shouting. Then we saw Slater chased and scattered everywhere. As Slater was doing that, the Charlie and Fred, they were just caught and they didn't know what's going on again. They were all hyped up and they were just like, what's going on again? After we expected that today would be a peaceful day, everywhere was just down and casted and everywhere was scattered. Then Slater just scattered everywhere and turned everywhere into a nightmare on just a beautiful day. So, and that's how the Slater who was terrorizing the people, then said, even had the got to say, nobody can save anybody from him today, that he's the one in charge. And he laughs, then scatters everywhere. So that was the end of episode 1. So then, episode 1 is more of Slater, I think. Yeah, more of Slater in the story. Slater just came and spoiled everything. So in episode 1, yeah, I'm sorry guys, I forgot to give you the title of episode 1. Yeah, the title of episode 1 is The Leap. So yeah, episode 1 means The Leap. That means the leap of faith. Now we move down to episode 2, The Attack. So, but before we go on to the episode 2, I would like you guys to please, we needed coming up with some, because we just started as a newfound channel. We started, and also a group. Mail series is looking up for writers and researchers and editors and stuff like that who can also help us, because right now we're little in number. So if we know you guys are good in, although it's not going to be monetary for now, but as the time goes on, we trust and we believe is going to get something bigger. So, but for now, we just look for voluntarily people who can just write ups, and people who can edit, and graphic designers and stuff like that who can join us on our group. So if you are interested, yeah, you can. I'll leave a link. I'll leave like a link to our group on Facebook, and I'll also leave like the main. You can text us on our Gmail, which I'll also leave in the description box below, so you can check that. Also, do well to please like, comment, share, and also please, if possible, please subscribe. I know you guys will subscribe, because I know the story is getting interesting. So let's go on. So now, moving on to episode 2. So Slither continues his attack. So episode 2 is like the continuation of episode 1. So Slither continues his attack, and he terrorizes the colony, devouring. As I said earlier, he has devoured 2 bunnies in the first episode. He has devoured 2 bunnies in the first episode. So why trying to fight back? Other bunnies, while trying to fight back, and others got injured and stuff like that. Others retreat. Others went in hiding in their different hiding spots, because rabbits. Truly, rabbits are very good in hiding. They'll just burrow down into the ground and stuff like that. But I don't think, if they are hiding, I don't think that's the hiding spot will be 100%, because Slither 2 is like a python, and really we all know what a python like. Truly, we all know what pythons are capable of. So yeah, so Slither continues. Then Slither says in his evil tone, "I'll be back soon." So Slither has finally given up. He's full already. So the reason why he wants to retreat now is because he's full already. So he said, "I'll be back soon," as he laughs, and he said, "You guys haven't seen the last of me." Wow, this guy is really dangerous, and wow, as in, he's really wow. I don't know what to say, because and the bunnies were actually I think, sorry for digressing, sorry for not continuing pulling out of the story, but I just want to make some reference. So the reason I think that these bunnies were supposed to have a master plan from the beginning, they're supposed to have a plan on how, because they know that being in the woods, they've also, I'm sure this will not be the first time he has come and terrorized the colony. This will not be the first time, but I don't know why. Yeah, these rabbits are so dumb, and their so-called leaders, Charlie and Fred, who are there, didn't take any initiative of, okay, let us have a plan on ground in case a Slither comes. Now, 2 bunnies, okay, 2 bunnies are gone, and there's nothing we can do about it. So the rabbits which were wounded, let's continue. So the rabbits which were wounded prepared to go and meet the doctor. They all have a healer, which they call the healer in their own colony, while others who were injured, who were injured unto death, because he also injured some, were carried out to get rid of, and others were. It was just a whole super atmosphere, like tears, and everywhere was dark and stuff. Meanwhile, Kelvin was there in the woods, because Kelvin was in the woods, and the colony, people who were in the colony were not safe. So I was wondering what kind of turn of events was that. So anyway, I'll go on. So Charlie came up. Charlie then said, "This is a disaster. We need to help to clean up and protect ourselves." Finally, after all the chaos and after all the massacre, that's when you guys are now coming up with a master plan. Then Fred, his accomplice, then said, "Why don't you lend a hand, Carlos? I am sure you why don't you hear that?" He said, "Why don't you lend a hand, Charlie? I am sure you make a delicious meal for Slither." Like, they're teasing themselves in midst of problems and stuff like that. They still had the chance to tease themselves. Charlie then said, "Very funny. We should call for the colony meeting to discuss this and find a solution. Kevin successfully lands on the other side. Then, very funny. Okay, yeah, Charlie made that a conclusion that they should have a meeting and stuff like that. So on the other hand, we saw Kelvin successfully landed to the other side, but I guess he didn't land on his 2 toes because he said the narrator said he landed at the edge of the cliff, and the cliff, or his hands were not too strong enough to hold on as the cliff began to crack. So Kelvin was like, oh my god, I'm about to fall off the cliff. So Kelvin fell. Then was the cliff was cracking, and Kelvin knew that he's about to fall down. Then Kelvin fell, and as he was screaming, he fell down and he dangled at the edge, but he was not able to. He dangled and fell in the midst of the woods, but nobody was able to hear him, and he shouted, finding out that he has broken his leg. So, and where he broke his leg, it was like in a dark place. His leg was plunged into like a rock, covering the 2 legs together. So leg was stuck there, and he was shouting, and nobody could hear him. When I was reading that place, I was like, what if Slither then comes? But thank God that Slither was already full. So I think there will not be any problem with that. Maybe if Slither does him, but despite that, if Slither finds him, he's still going to injure him, because Slither, we all know, he's a bully, and he will do anything just to cultivate fear in people, or is there counter and is there fellow animals. So that's what Slither is. So Slither is like a terror. But let's not go into that. So there and then we found out that Kelvin, after shouting and in pains because his leg was stuck in between a rock, so he fell unconscious. While back in the colony, Fred and Charlie gathered the rabbits to have a meeting and about the recent attack. That's after they mourned everybody, treated the people who were injured and stuff like that. So they called for the meeting, which was the meeting they supposed to have had a very long time ago before this happened. So Charlie then started the meeting. He said, today we face the wrath of Slither and we suffer losses. In an angry tone, he said, we must avenge the fallen and protect ourselves. Fred will guide us in creating a strong defense force. Okay, so they are planning on to go for a defense force. So then Fred then intervenes. Then this is what Fred said. Fred said, we need volunteers to form a defense and attack unit. We will provide weapons and protective gear. Join us at the town square tomorrow to recruit, and also please, we also want to make sure that you guys are putting all the efforts to make sure that we protect the colony. That's what Fred said. So Fred was employing that he was going to recruit members of the colony, those who would just put on together. So that means that maybe one of the reasons why they didn't have a protective instinct at first was because they didn't have like an army on ground. So Fred was now coming up with the idea of creating a defense force from members of the colony. So then Fred then continued. He said, except Kelvin, he put in quotes, he said, except Kelvin, who will stay at home decorating. So it's like Kelvin is the joker of the town. He's like the laughing stock of the town, because as Fred said that statement, the crowd started laughing, and they're just laughing and making fun in the midst of just facing a problem not so quite long. Wow. So they laughed and they made the jest of Kelvin, who was not even present, and nobody know about his whereabouts and stuff like that. So Fred was curious. Anyway, it was only Fred who was like curious that where is Fred anyway, and the crowd said nobody cares, and everybody was just like, who cares? That he must be out there in the woods again, picking stuff like that. Then friend cuts in again. He said, anyway, as you may know, we might going to need at least 100 bunnies. Wow. So if they're looking for random like 100 bunnies, that means there are more bunnies in the colony than there are over 100 bunnies, in the colony, which means more meat and more meal for Slither. Wow. So I want to put more light on the leadership of Fred and Charlie. I don't see Fred and Charlie as capable of leading the colony. They are just head for nothing, because that much bunnies living in the colony, they're supposed to have used a defense, and I'm sure this will not be the first time that Slither will come to attack. Until when it's getting out of hand, that's when they are about to do this thing. And the life of the bunnies which are wasted, what are you going to do about it? Who knows? But anyway, let's continue. So then a bunny from the crowd then said, what are you talking about? Then the bunny said, so are you going to mean that 100 bunny are also going to die again? That I knew it. So that means that this was not the first time that Slither came. So Slither has come as times without number, which you don't know. So he has come and terrorized and killed 100 more than, because the bunny now is saying, so 100 bunnies are also going to die. That means that he has killed over 100 bunnies. Wow, this is kind of deep. It's very deep. This is kind of deep. So Fred went on and said, wait, we are going to provide necessary weapons and protective equipment to help you guys defend yourselves, so you can't die, so that you guys will protect yourself and be safe. So Fred was assuring them that he will make sure that everything were going to be okay. Well, I kind of know that there's still something that's going to happen. No how, something's going to happen. So anyhow, the crowd agrees. Then Charlie said, so he said, see you all tomorrow, as we're going to, because he said in anger. Charlie was all more about the anger. Everything he wanted was just the anger and seeing that Slither goes down. That was what he was all about. So he said that we will rise together and conquer Slither once and for all. And everybody shouted, yes, yay! As usual, as a leader, you're just going to hype the people, and the people get hyped. And everybody shouted, and everybody with encouragement, everybody shouted and left. So back in the woods, Kelvin was still stuck, but he came back to unconscious again. He was conscious again, and he found out how he has fallen off the cliff, and unaware, people who were in the village were unaware of Kelvin's plight and stuff like that. So Kelvin was all alone in the woods until he just found himself, and he was still there stuck, and I'm sure he was calling out for rescue, which nobody will hear. And nobody is going to hear, and he was only him in the woods. So I wonder how he survived. So, and I guess this is where our episode 2 comes to a stop. So they said, to find out more about what happened to Kelvin, tune in to episode 3. So thank you guys for tuning in and staying with us, and hope you guys had a nice time listening to our story. So let me just give you a quick recap. So what I think this was all about, what the first and second episode was all about Slither coming, taking everything, destroying everything. He was like a lethal villain. I don't know, like to you, very lethal. For him to be able to kill and strangle and swallow and injure some to death, bunnies actually, it was very terrible. And the second thing I want to make reference to was the leadership of Fred and Charlie. Fred and Charlie leadership was off the chart. Yeah, it was, if I want to give them a rating, I'll give them like a -0, because this was going on for a while, and they didn't have the initiative to also put like something on ground, and until it was getting hard to land, that's when they had to put something on ground, which was a very bad side for leadership on them. So going on now, Kelvin, he is now stuck in the woods outside the colony, as he was struggling and trying to find a way out of there. I think Kelvin actually deserved the hate. Actually, for me, I don't know about you guys, but I actually think Kelvin deserved the hate because he had to, although also everyone has to follow his dream and stuff like that, but in the midst of this chaos, he was not meant to go out of the colony knowing that there were dangers outside. Maybe he was a brave and fearless person. Actually, he was actually brave and fearless, and at the end we got to know that he became the main savior of the colony. But okay, so we'll find out more in episode 3. So thank you guys, and thank you for staying tuned, for listening, and we hope you guys enjoyed the story and have a nice time. We'll see you guys soon in another episode of Mayor series. So coming up next, we'll have episode 3 and episode 4. So we'll make sure that you guys get this next video on also Wednesday. It's a promise, and it's going to be certain. We'll make sure our videos come up on Wednesday as usual, and we'll make sure that we bring you interesting stories. Also, though, because we are starting early, we haven't got more stories on ground yet, but trust us and you believe in us that we are coming up with more interesting stories and more entertaining stories than this. Yeah, we're coming up with more. Though this was entertaining, it was actually interesting. As we get deeper, you get to find out that wow, the colony, you get to know what the colony is all about, different kind of characters and stuff like that. But don't worry, we get to know about that. So see you guys soon, and stay safe. Once again, don't forget to like, share, and also subscribe. I love you. Very appreciative you do that too. So thank you guys, and see you guys soon. Have a wonderful day. See you. Peace.